Alright, so this is sort of like an unscripted fun video. This is going to showcase my first, I guess you call it a collection. I won't want to call it army because it's not like a sort of like a curated army from a list or anything, but this is my first collection of models. They are from one-page rules. These are called the Shadow Stalkers. The Shadow Stalkers are from a different, I guess you call it plane or dimension. Their this dimension is total darkness, and so most of the models have no eyes. They have these cool like cloaks or bandages that cover their eyes, I guess where their eyes are supposed to be, and they have like a lot of cool trinkets on them that you can see. I think this is like a pretty cool way of telling a story in model design, where they have all these little trinkets like hanging off of them. Sometimes I don't know if this guy has anything. Let me find something. Couldn't really find what I was looking for, but some of them have like wooden, well, not wooden spoons, I assume they're metal spoons, but they have spoons, random bells and everything hanging off of them, maybe keys en masse. I imagine that in the battlefield these guys just pick up whatever and tie it onto them, and they kind of use these random objects that like jingle around, and they kind of use it for like echolocation and stuff since they're blind, which I think is a cool idea. It's a cool way to tell a story through a model. Here we go, we got some random keys and stuff. Like I said, this is a cool way to tell a story using a model in the model design and everything. So anyway, these models are from one-page rules. I am a member on the tier 2 system, which means I get STL files once a month, and eventually they do the complete package where you get like all the models for one faction and everything. So they just finished the Shadow Stalkers, and when I print the models, what I have been doing is I just make sure I at least print 1 or 2 of every unit from the core units. Sometimes I print some of the bigger units. I'm pretty much a skirmish player. In one-page rules, they don't really use the bigger units unless you're playing Quest, which I'm just assuming you can play. They let you add it into the army builder as far as the enemies that you fight against, but I'm not advanced enough in Quest yet to actually play against some of these bigger units, so I'm just assuming that you could play them. But a lot of other skirmish games you can use bigger units, so I just like to print like 1 or 2 like cool ones just to have in stock. This faction has some pretty cool special rules, stuff like Devour. Whenever on this model attacks in melee, roll 1 dice. On a 6+, the target takes 1 wound. That's pretty cool. And there's Shadowborn, which is sort of like a special rule that gives you a bonus when taking morale tests and stuff. So overall it's a pretty cool faction. I really like the way they look. I haven't really got to play against somebody, I guess like another faction. If you want to see a full-scale battle with this faction against another faction using one-page rules, I think Hans's Wargaming actually put, I think, 2 videos out. I will put a link in the description if I can remember. So like I said before, I am mainly a solo gamer at the moment until I get a couple more friends into one-page rules or in miniature wargaming in general. But I like to play Age of Fantasy Quest a lot, as much as I can. I've been really busy lately, and basically I've been using this faction for that, all these models and everything. So I'm going to go down the list of the core units just to let you check them out. First, I have these Scourges. I'm pretty sure it's these guys. Yep. In one-page rules, when you have a unit of 3, a lot of times you get to pick sort of like a leader, and one of them could be either a sergeant, a bannerman, or a musician, and each one of those guys gives that unit like special bonuses and everything depending on what they are. What I usually do is I print one of these as like a sergeant anyway, whether I play them as a sergeant or not. You can just play it as just another normal unit, and if I don't play as a sergeant, I just assume it's like a normal unit, but I just like to put him up front when I set him on the board and everything, just have something to go by. But those are the Scourges. Scourges are pretty cool. Like I said, it's a unit of 3, it's a quality of 5, a defense of 5. They have that special rule of Shadowborn and Stealth. Next on the list, I think I'll show off the Tormentor. Tormentor is a pretty cool model. I just like the kind of stance of it and everything. Now, when I play against this guy in Age of Fantasy Quest, it usually kind of makes me angry. These guys, it's a 1 model unit. It's a quality of 4 with a defense of 6, but... Okay, I had to look up the rules really quick. So, with this guy, he has a quality of 4, and he has a special Ensnare. And with Ensnare, the enemy gets a -1 to hit in melee. And when you're playing Age of Fantasy Quest, especially when you're starting out, your quality is already at like a 5+. So basically, you're rolling a 6+, which is pretty annoying and pretty hard to get. So like, yeah, Tormentors, they're pretty annoying if they come up. Here's a Phantom. I think this might be one of my favorite models as far as design. I just like all the multiple arms and all the multiple weapons and such, and the cool looking shield with all the stuff hanging off of it. When I started painting these guys, I started out painting these guys with this mist that they come out of, this crazy like magical smoke and everything. I started doing this yellow, which I thought was just kind of distracting and everything compared to the rest of the model. I don't know, I showed it to my buddy and he really liked it and stuff, but you know, I started going with this like dark look and everything, which is kind of cool, but at the same time you can't really tell what it is and everything. So I've seen some people paint this stuff with like a green and stuff, which I think was really awesome, but this is just what I got now. But anyway, this is the Phantom, quality of 4, defense 5. It's got Ethereal for like its special, which kind of gives it like a sneaky strider bonus and everything. So yeah, definitely probably one of my favorite models as far as the smaller guys. This is the Reaper. Kind of reminds me of the Phantom. It's got this cool like thing displayed on his back and everything, a lot of cool weapons and everything, but just like unlike the Phantom, this guy's on foot, it's got its own tail and everything. Can't really see, but I had some kind of problem with the print job right there, but I didn't really notice it till I started like painting on it, and I just kind of went with it, and I didn't feel like reprinting it and everything. But yeah, that is the Reaper. The Reaper is a quality of 3, a defense of 4, so he can be pretty stout. This is the Spectre. I did him with the yellow look and everything. It's got a cool looking staff. He sort of has he's got an 18-inch range with his staff, so he can do like a long distance magic attack, I guess, and everything. But he also has claws for a melee attack, quality of 5, defensive 6. Reaper Flare. This is a mounted unit. Really cool looking battle axe. Pretty cool looking horse. I think the horse is the one where I decided not to do the yellow with the smoke look, just because it's part of its mane and everything. I just thought it'd be way too bright and distracting for the horse and everything. But really cool model. I started printing these guys when one-page rules usually gives you these bases with the unit, with the actual faction that matches the faction. So these are actual Shadow Stalker bases. And the problem I have with these bases is that sometimes you have a hard time trying to, if you print them separate from the figure, sometimes you have a hard time with all these rocks and everything, getting the figure to set right on the base. No, I had a hard time with this one. That's the reason it's kind of looks like it's a little bit leaning, but at the same time, the lean kind of looks kind of cool on a horse because it looks like it's digging in and trying to do a turn and stuff. But I've started actually like in the slicer program, I actually started like taking the base and the unit together and put them together and exporting them out as a STL and then putting them back in the slicer so there's actually like one model, and then doing the automatic supports and stuff. That way I don't have to like figure out how to put the unit on the base. I think I did that with this guy. So this guy is actually printed on the base and stuff, which that works out better for me if you could fit it on the printer. But yeah, this is a Flayer, a Reaper Flayer, quality of 3, defense of 4. This is a fast unit since it's mounted and everything, so it can go faster on the board than other units. Really cool looking model. Next on the list is this Butcher. This is one of the first models I printed. I think it had multiple arms and weapons and stuff. I just think it's really neat that they're just using 2 hands to hold this weapon, and you have an extra one and an extra one just to hold the shield. I also think it's neat all the shields just look like they're just doors that they just like pulled off a random house that they're attacking and everything. So really cool model. Kind of getting into the bigger boy category. The Butchers are a quality of 3, a defense of 3, so you know that's pretty nasty. This stuff has rending, has a A3 attack with armor piercing. So Shadow Hounds, this is a group of 3 if you're playing a skirmish battle. I probably should have said this before with the other guys, but if you're playing in the full scale version of the whole army version, these guys are in a group of 5. But like I said before, this is a sergeant. With these guys, you can usually do like a sergeant, or like you could throw like a banner. I don't guess there is a banner version of this model, or a musician version, but you can use a sergeant version of this model. And I usually print those regardless. I'm pretty sure this is the guy. I have a video of how I'm painting these guys. Pretty easy as far as like I'm just putting a blue wash all over the body. I'm just using one brown and like a little bit of effects wash for the shadows and stuff, and I'm pretty much calling these units done and everything, just to make like a really easy. So yeah, these guys are a fast unit. They are a quality of 5 with a defense of 5, which is a quality of 5. It's not too bad unless you have all 3 of them together, and then you're throwing down how many dice? Yeah, A2 dice. So you're throwing down 2, 4, 6 dice when this unit is at full capacity or full strength. These are the Fang Swarms, quality of 6, defense 6. They have an A3 attack, so you're trying to throw down 3 dice to get that quality of 6 to pass. But this might be the easiest model. I've been trying not to spend a lot of time on each of these models and really trying to get like an army out on the board and everything. But seriously, I just did a blue wash on everything with the brown and a little bit of metallic paint, and then I just called it done. This is a really cool unit too. I keep on saying this is my favorite unit every time I pick up a unit, but I really like these guys. They just sort of have like that T-Rex kind of look, but just with the extra arms and everything. But this is a Fiend. He has a quality 4, a defense 4, A3 attack with rending, so not too bad. Pretty cool monster. That pretty much covers all of the core units. I have just a few units that I've made a champion out of. These are like hero units and such. Let's see, this is a Spectre champion. Let's see if you remember, the Spectre looks a lot like this guy, but this just has a lot more to it. I don't usually make a lot of champions unless I'm just like looking for something in particular. Here's a Scourge champion. This guy is a Scourge champion with Great Hound. So it's like a bonus that you can add on. It's pretty rad. And basically, here is a storyline hero character. This is Amishu and Cathuz. This is basically this unit, but just more. So really cool unit with just a lot of stuff hanging off of this crazy cross that's on his back. And you can tell that the hound just has like more horns and everything, just to make it more menacing. Like I said before, I don't make a lot of the bigger monsters slash vehicles because I am a skirmish player, but sometimes a model just looks really cool and I'm going to print it anyway. And this guy looked really cool. This is a Great Screecher. So the Great Screecher is a quality 4 but defense 3 with a attack of 6 dice attack. Pretty gnarly. I am a big fan of this model. I just think it just looks cool. I like the overall design of the Shadow Stalkers with just the ropes hanging off and everything. And I'm kind of glad I just went like really simple with the paint job and everything, with the blue look and then all the spikes and bone material just being dark. The only thing I did with these is just use a black wash with it. So yeah, pretty easy paint job considering like I just really like the way it turned out and everything. This is a Terror Beast with Spear Rider. The rope and everything is cool. I'm pretty sure, oh yeah, you can barely see, but I accidentally snapped the rope there when I was trying to take the supports apart, and that is actually a support that I put back in. And this last model is a Great Horror, which I really like the pose of this. And also this is another model where I decided to go dark with this smoke material instead of that yellow. I just thought the yellow just be way intense on this guy and everything. But you know, some of the viewers might like the yellow and stuff. And also this blue, I started using I used 2 different types of white primer. I either use a Citadel primer or the Army Painter. And just for future reference, these blue washes are from Army Painter. And if you use a Citadel white primer, what I like about the Citadel primer is that it has like a really smooth look when you're priming it and everything. But the washes don't really like paint on the primer that well. It seems like they just kind of like the liquid just like sloshes around. It doesn't really like grab on to the paint and everything. So I don't know if just because they're the same from the same company and everything, but I've switched back to Army Painter primer. And with saying that, you could tell like the blue just kind of sits on there in a smoother kind of fashion instead of this blotchy look. But just word from the wise, in case you guys run into the same problem, just like check your primer if your washes end up being just blotchy like that. Here's a little bonus model that I just never got painted, but I got printed and primed. This is a blind behemoth. This guy is really big. I will put a regular model size model in there just to see how, just for a reference and everything. But really cool guy. It comes with like a lot of different weapons. You can either use this weapon that has a chain on it, or something like this that's just like more like a mace. But yeah, blind behemoth. So yeah, thanks for checking out the video. Like I said, this is sort of like a fun unscripted thing, just to show off my complete collection, my first collection, or I guess first army that I've put together and printed and painted. I look forward to painting more one-page rules. I'm really into the old world slash Age of Fantasy right now, So I'm looking forward to the Wood Elves that One Page Rules is getting ready to put out. That way I can just keep collecting more armies. I am also printing out a lot of Saurians at the moment, so maybe I'll showcase that later, just on the side. But as of now, this is my first full official army that I have pretty much painted and ready to go in case somebody wants to do a skirmish battle with me. Thanks for watching. Give this video a like and be sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next adventure.